And I wanted to ask how you'll ensure that WhatsApp or Signal or whatever are not used for government ministers by staff or ministers on their personal devices. How will they actually ensure that that doesn't happen?
So I think the formulation of the policy has been quite a long time in the making since the Martins report, the Deputy First Minister's statement in the aftermath. There have been good communications, both with ministers and officials, including a briefing for ministers before the Cabinet meeting last week, I think, maybe the week before. So I think that has been really very well communicated. I think it's well understood. We've used our intranet as well to be clear on what the policy now is. So like any corporate policy, now there's an expectation that that will be followed.
Okay. And how will compliance then be measured?
So well, realistically, in terms of the corporate devices, WhatsApp will be removed from those altogether. So that won't be an option. I think, as I say, as with many other policies, we expect it to be adhered to. There isn't a specific enforcement or sort of checking system that we intend to put in place.
Okay. Do you think that's slightly optimistic, given that most people will have personal devices as well? And what you're describing, if it's in effect advisory, there's really nothing to stop them using their personal devices to carry on transacting government business.
So Leslie Fraser might want to come in and sort of add a little bit. I would, yeah, maybe I could invite Leslie to come in on that, if I may.
Yeah, so we've been very clear with colleagues that this would be a disciplinary matter. We expect colleagues to follow our information management guidance and policy. WhatsApp and such mobile messaging applications have now gone from government devices. Government business needs to be done on government devices for the benefits of security, as well as traceability and accountability. I think that message is well understood by colleagues, and colleagues are very keen to comply and to work with the new arrangements. And as the Permanent Secretary was saying, we have been able to improve technology available to civil servants. So we do now have access to Microsoft Teams, for example, which fulfills many of the same functions, but is safe, secure, traceable, accountable, and so on. So it would be managed as a disciplinary matter in line with our normal disciplinary arrangements were that circumstance to arise.
But how would you know? Because many people, for example, use WhatsApp with the function set to auto-delete. So how would you ever know? So the process is that people undertake to follow the process.
Yes.
You've said that if they don't, it's disciplinary. But how will you know if they don't, if they're deleting as they go?
The business of government is recorded at all points, and in order for it to be recorded, it needs to be on our devices and on our systems. And so for security reasons, for example, you can't import material easily from elsewhere. You need to produce material on our systems. So we're doing all that we can to encourage and require our colleagues to follow the policies and processes that we have in place. We're also, of course, very clear under freedom of information legislation where somebody, for example, because of a cyber incident or because of a problem with our own systems, to need to do some government business on a personal device, they would need to date stamp that, record the fact, and then arrange for that material to be brought onto the record. So the information remains government business wherever it's done, but we're absolutely clear that except in very exceptional business continuity circumstances, we are anticipating everybody using government devices and government systems.
Okay. I think we'll wait and see.